Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Guys, again I'm going to solve the same question to find the domain, but the question has a different pattern, right? It will give you a lot of informations. Okay, so I'm going to write down the question here. Find the domain. Find the domain. Find the domain of fx square root sine inverse 2x plus pi by 6, right? This is the question. Sine inverse in square root sine inverse 2x plus pi by 6. The question is find the domain. Means what value of x I plug in here and the function exists, right? So I'm going to solve this question here. My red marker is not working. Okay, so as you can see, this is again the square root, right? So for the square root, I already told you if you have any square root function, right? So if you want that the y exists, you have to make this condition: x must be 0 or greater than 0, right? So here what is that? You have sine inverse 2x, okay, and plus pi by 6. This one must be what? 0 or greater than 0. So this can be written as sine inverse 2x. This pi by 6 shifted on the right side, then you have minus pi by 6, right? Okay, so here we are going to use a sign on both sides. This is sine, and here I'm going to write down sine inverse 2x, and this one too, we can say sine in both sides, this one and this one, right? And it becomes as an angle, so minus pi by 6. So guys, I want to tell you about a formula that sine and sine inverse 2x, right? So whenever you will see this one and this one, right, for any value of sine x, okay, x must be any number, so this will always give you from -1 to 1, okay? So whenever you see sine and sine inverse, the answer is always 2x. Means you can say this one cancel and you have this one 2x, okay? And there is one formula: sine minus x can be written as what? Minus sine x, okay? These two, okay? So now here we can say sine inverse. Look here, sine and sine, I just made it. Sine inverse cancel. You have what? 2x, and here what? Sine, this can be written as minus sine pi over 6. So this is 2x and minus sine pi by 6 means sine 30 degree, which is 1 over 2. So divided by 2, cancel. X is less than, sorry, x is equal to or greater than minus 1 by 4. I just got one inequality, right? According to this one, I am going to draw the real line, right? And you can say, okay, so this is 0. This is minus 1 by 4. Minus 1 by 4 is here, right? Okay, so from minus 1 by 4, okay, I'm going to take minus 1 by 4. Why? Because we want what? Equal. So minus 1 by 4 to positive infinity, right? You have to go what? With positive infinity. So according to this inequality, you can take any number from minus 1 by 4 to positive infinity, and if you put it here, this function always greater than or equal to 0. Okay, but if you see here also in this function, you can see in square root we have sine inverse 2x. And remember, sine inverse is a function, right? Or a restricted domain. So you have to consider this function too, right? Okay, so this is what sine inverse 2x. So I'm going to write down here, note. The second inequality I'm going to find out. This sine inverse 2x. Listen guys, this is sine inverse x, sine inverse 2x, sine inverse 3x, sine inverse 5x, sine inverse 10x, whatever the value of sine inverse, okay? Whatever the value of x you will put, the answer will be always minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. the range of the sine inverse is always minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Even this is sine inverse x or sine inverse 2x or sine inverse 3x or sine inverse 4x, doesn't matter. The range will be always minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now, what value of x I just plug in here so that this value is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? So, again, if I use the sign here, the sine minus pi by 2, okay, and here this is what sine, and this is what sine inverse 2x, and here also this is sine pi by 2. So you can see I use the sign here, here, and here, okay. So this one again I said to you this formula, sine minus x is equal to minus sine x, right? You can say this is minus sine pi by 2, and this is what this one cancel, you have 2x, and this is what sine pi by 2, which is what 1, and this is what sine pi by 2, which is minus 1, so you can say 2x is what 1. I want x, so here if you divide by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2, you can say x must be minus 1 by 2 to 1 by 2. If you want a value from minus 1 by 2 1 by 2, then we can say sine inverse 2x is always minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, okay. So minus pi by 2 will be here, sir, right? This is minus 1 by 2. This is minus 1 by 2, then this is what minus 1 by 4, and then it's greater, right? So 1 by 2. Look, in the first inequality, it means from minus 1 by 4 to positive infinity, right? But the second inequality said no, just the maximum is what 1 by 2. For example, this is 1 by 2, okay? So you have to go only here. So we can take the common part, right? So if I say the domain, here, can say the domain, we will take the domain, the common domain, right? Minus 1 by 4, and I'm going to use minus 1 by 4 because I want equal. So from minus 1 by 4 to the maximum here is what 1 by 2, and we are going to take 1 by 2. See guys, if we are here minus 1 by 4 to 1 by 2, this will hold this inequality as well as this inequality, right? So I will take the common part, so the domain must be from minus 1 by 4 to 1 by 2. If you take the number from this one, this function exists, and except this one, this function cannot exist, right? So if you want to see, check, this is for example 1 by 2. So here if you put 1 by 2, right? 2 to cancel sine inverse 1, which is pi by 2. So pi by 2, pi by 6, it exists, right? So the domain is this one. Okay, the first inequality and the second inequality, and take the common portion. This is your common portion from minus 1 to 4. I hope guys you understand. Please watch my next video. That video is going to be a very complicated and very interesting video. I hope you understand. Take care. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.